Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland, the only sanctioned source of community entertainment in these dark and terrifying times. A beacon in the darkness, off here to VonIvan on Amilly Fields. The north it is VonIvan, most fun of the Ivans, finding here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 78th Sturmgrenadier Division with close air support, spicy, with Stuka reconnaissance pass, supply drops, zones, anti-infantry strafe, anti-tank strafes, and just dropping bombs. In the south is Jove, back here from a bit of a hiatus, it would appear, fighting here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Commodore Stalin, and the 5th Guards Mechanized Corps with Guard Rifle, Shock Army, and Shock Rifle. A shocking amount of shock commanders. Grenadier MD42 versus double conscripts, and as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them and their wonderful support, the Propagandacast would not be able to keep doing what it does, day after day, month after month, year after year. So big thanks to all those wonderful people. Others can follow in the heroic ranks by Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Links are in the video description. And if you're in the market for pre-owning communist, you can do so in the link in the comments. Use the code STUG3G, and I get a part of the sale. Unless comment, like, share, subscribe, talk about the video. So, gonna be an interesting matchup here for sure. Close air support used to be a really popular commander back when you could actually just convert fuel into munitions, and the anti-infantry safe was also kind of nuts. Now it's been toned down a lot, so it's mostly just you occasionally see VonIvan using it, really. Still, third conscript there for Jove, who also crucially doesn't really have like a lot of the meta commander. There's Guard Rifle, which is sort of meta, but even then it's not like high meta. It's more like low meta game. And then there's Shock Army and Shock Rifle, which you just don't see a lot of usage, so that's quite interesting here. We got Pioneers machine gun in the west here. Grenadiers in the east was there for VonIvan and the German army. Sandbags here in the east. Jove there, of course, preparing for any German assaults there. Establishing Marxist footholds. First shots fired here with the Eastern Victory Point as Jove's contra there running to VonIvan's Grenadiers. Immediately reporting it back to headquarters. Contra up the eastern side as well there. It looks like both sides are waiting a bunch of men from the east side here. We got a 3-4 conscript build here from Jove. That is interesting. That is definitely not your typical third build either. So, interesting here. I mean, he hasn't been playing the game in some time, so maybe he hasn't quite caught up with the meta game, or perhaps he's got his own plans. It's always hard to say with Jove. West side here, Engineers holding up. We got the Pioneers machine on the west side here for VonIvan and the 78th Storm Grenadier Division. Conscript Grenadiers in the east. 4th conscript there done for Jove and the Red Army. Conscript there piercing straight for the center, right for the carve point. Sandbags here. Might in fact lay up sandbags on VonIvan's carve point, that way cutting his supply lines in twain. And forcing him, of course, to divert forces towards defending the carve point, recapturing it even. In the west, Engineers still suppressed behind the tractor. And routed. Medics for Jove and the Red Army. Carve point there hit. East side here, controlling up some for now versus VonIvan's overwhelming Grenadier numbers. But they can't easily force out the conscripts at range when they're in heavy cover. 4th Grenadier Squad for VonIvan and the 78th Sturm Grenadier Division, an experimental infantry division within the Wehrmacht that was sort of meant to be an assault infantry division. They actually had a lot more firepower available compared to like the average infantry. Like, you know, each division of all of the divisional companies, for example, is like, you know, equipped like Panzer Grenadiers. There's 2 machine guns. They also had access to heavy mortars and Pak 40s at a lower level, and they had a full Sturmgeschütz brigade attached to them as well. But there we go. Going on for the card point, flank up behind VonIvan's eastern forces here of routing him here. Grenadiers rushing in from the north. And you see a might system take there for Jove, yet to see a commander here out of him. Card point there being seized. The division itself, though, would find itself shattered during Operation Backlash, but will later be reconstituted as a Volksgrenadier Division, which gave it the very awkward name of Volkssturmgrenadier Division. That's still not going to confuse anyone. So, Pioneers flanking the conscripts here. We got MG42 about to get flanked here by Jove's infantry. His frontline troops marching in proudly, and then less proudly marching away. West side here, once more, Jove's engineers probing the left flank here for VonIvan and the German army. East side here, we got conscripts up here in heavy cover and without. Grenades right in there, got Molotov right into the advance here of VonIvan's men, and he accidentally vaults into the Molotov. Imagine just doing that, like you're vaulting, and then right as it does, you're like, boom, fire beneath your feet. That's got to be something out of nightmares. Comes to the Pioneers here. Nothing yet here for Jove. And in a shocking move, we actually get shock mode army. with T-35s, heavy mortars, shock troopers, armored vehicle detection, and artillery strikes. It's sort of like guard right motor, I mean, in a sense, except, you know, it's got shock troopers, no marked target, and no self-repair, but you still get the heavy mortar, the T-35, and some kind of elite infantry. Still, it's just not as popular because, well, you know, guards particularly just tend to be a lot more versatile than shock troopers, put simply, and marked target is also an absurdly good ability, so... Well, again, I don't think Shock Army is a bad commander by any length, it's just, you know, guard motors is just so much better. I mean, they basically just gave the search command that is kind of very close to guard motor, and guard motor still beats it because some of the individual bits just easy to build out of the water. But anyways, Samex on the west here, troops enforcing healing here for Jove, still no sign of tech here from him, he's being very conspicuous about this. East side we got VonIvan's going to bring up here, 5th Storm Grenadier Company here versus Jove and the Red Army, the 107th Motorized Rifle Brigade. Before to the conscripts. Grab the eastern point with the Grenadier. Conscript units here for Jove and the Red Army. Union moving up, then back. A lot of folks in both fuel punch from both sides. Heavily dug in, Grenadiers could be a bit difficult for Jove to clear out head on. Of course, a well-chucked Molotov could have definitely caused the position to collapse rapidly, and it does appear to be exactly what Jove is planning, though the angle of attack here is perhaps a little less clear. There we go. There we go, catching the Grenadiers. Still no tech here for Jove, though we can start calling heavy mortars and shock troopers if he so wants to. There we go, straight into 5 squads of infantry here from Jove with the shock troopers arriving here. That is a total of 30 men now here versus VonIvan's 16. West side here, the machines all being pushed back out, maneuvered here by a really good infantry in the west by Jove. Thumbs up there to Jove. Engineers and the content pushback machine almost wiping out 2, and VonIvan responds with another Grenadier squad. Not that he's seen the shock troopers yet, but he apparently just wants more Grenadiers, and who can fault him, though. Personally, I would like to see some Panzer Grenadiers, but then, you know, I always kind of want to see them. So, all the way, though, shock troopers soon about to hit here. VonIvan like a brick through the window with, well, Russian insults written all over it. What does it say? I don't know. I can't read Russian. Oh. Well, I'm sure it's something nice. No, I don't think so, Otto. I don't think so. Quite the opposite. Troop reinforcing, then we got the shock troopers being back towards the center here. Equipped with the PPSH-41 submachine gun. Equipped with body armor, which really can only stop like 9mm parabellum. Basically, pistols and submachine guns. Anything better than that, they just get pierced anyways. Grab the eastern point with the conscripts. No further tech there for VonIvan. Nothing further for Jove either. No tech, no, say, heavy mortars, additional shock troopers. We do get tech there for VonIvan. He's going straight for tier 3 here. That is bold here by VonIvan, but knowing VonIvan, it's also very VonIvan. VonIvan is nothing if not bold. And the West Sphere Conscript's going to do here. Could perhaps reach him with the Molotov, maybe not. Just try it anyways. And there we go. Grenadiers so quickly dodging around there. That's going to force Jove's to retreat here. East side here, Grenadiers pursuing the conscripts. Got the shock troopers from another angle, but they can't quite leverage the light machines easily before the shock troopers up in their faces with the PPS-841 submachine guns, which also had a very high rate of fire. We're talking like, you know, roughly 800 to 900 rounds per minute. So they could really spill out some lead. And there you go. Almost wipes the one of VonIvan's Grenadier squads here. Veteran on the shock troopers. Didn't get the wipe there, but certainly is making things more uncomfortable here for VonIvan's Grenadiers. West side here, we got Grenadiers to contact by the carve point. Tech there finally happening for Jove and the Red Army. Guessing at this point, Jove is going to, like VonIvan, just move straight ahead for the medium armor. In his case, the T-3485. Conscript look in the center here. Shock troopers retreating there, down to just 2 men, caught by the MG42. You know, the impermeability of shock trooper armor there kind of ran a bit short. Grenadiers up here, pushing for the eastern field point. So yeah. Close air support versus shock army. Not your average matchup, that's for sure. And of course, we get here part of to why VonIvan conflict we head to tier 3, of course. Supply drops. Getting the Luftwaffe supplying with fuel here to keep up the advance towards the Panzers. Thumbs up there. Definitely not something most players do, but this is VonIvan. Of course, there's theoretical risk here, but acquired Jove did have forces nearby and could actually punish this, which fortunately for VonIvan he can't. Otherwise, Jove would very easily able to rush ahead from medium armor himself. Yeah, it wasn't uncommon for the Luftwaffe to apply fuel to help German advances if, you know, the logistics couldn't keep up, typically because of mud. So, little fun fact there. Oh, that's a bunch of fuel there for VonIvan, which of course will accelerate any armor moves here from him. Jove, of course, here with the mechanized armor company, which means you can upgrade the conscript to 7 upgrades, obviously, so he's probably always rushing up for that part. Fuel-wise, though, VonIvan is doing a fairly decent job slowing down his income as well by hitting the fuel pump to return. So, VonIvan definitely is going to have the advantage there in terms of the armor race, unless VonIvan decides to go for tier 4, which would be, again, kinda, you know, in character for VonIvan, but even that might be a bit much. In terms of, like, you know, can you actually pull it off? But there you go. VonIvan just going for the Spalmer Core there. Thumbs up to that. Shock Troopers going to use in the west. Easily the content being pushed back here by VonIvan's Grenadiers. And there you go. Shock Troopers, the Canticle needs to retreat here. Fortunately for VonIvan, looks like the Grenadiers will avoid a wipe, though. They will take quite a few losses here, and the Shock Troopers will soon be virtually 2, which only makes them even more lethal here versus VonIvan's beleaguered Grenadiers. There you go. Quick RG-42 anti-tank grenade. Anti-tank grenade, anti-personnel grenade. Close against Grenadiers here. There we go. Routing the Grenadiers. 9 kills there, actually 2. Which is where they really get mean. East side here, constant push up with Engineers, forcing back VonIvan's southern right flank, which is easily extended here. Support Corps ready here for VonIvan. Guessing he's going to go for Panther 4 here first. Meanwhile, Jove there can soonish go for the T-34 from 6. May, of course, will plan to go straight for the T-45, but we will have to see if that is his plan. No reserves being mobilized yet here, though, for Jove and the Red Army. Panther 4 there on the way for VonIvan. Bit of support from a nearby Panzer Division as it makes its way back to friendly lines, I suppose. East side, we've got conscript straight to the here, up close and ugly. Molotov here should, I think, win the engagement for Jove fairly easily. There we go. Machine and Giver in the center. Panther 4 almost done here for VonIvan. Jove momentarily from the T-34 from 6. Though I do think he should probably have to consider field gun here. Unless he's got some other way of helping dealing with that Panther 4 mines here from Jove. That's obviously not a bad idea either. We do get the T-34 from 6 for Jove. Panther 4 right around the corner for VonIvan. And the 78th Sturm Grenadier Division. Can't call it on there with the Pioneer and the Grenadier. Comes Engineers to the Grenadiers in the east. And there we go. Panther 4 that's running here for VonIvan. We'll have to see, though. Maybe the run with the Panther 4 like this could cause Jove to consider a T-35 instead of the 76. Not impossible here. Pioneers in the west are about to get wiped out. VonIvan, they're close losing side of them and almost gets them wiped here. Looks like Fortune smiles a bit there on VonIvan. Because Fortune does favour the bold. I mean, you know, you certainly can't call VonIvan not bold. Mines in the east here. Graham leads the victory point. We got air recons here for VonIvan. Quick Grenadiers what opponents up to. Field gun on the way there for Jove. Strain to man with the Grenadiers. Heinz and Ulrich dead. Panther straight for the shock troops here. Diving right through there. The walls. Removing any cover there for Jove's men. And of course, for VonIvan's men if they get that far. East of MD42 push back against conscripts. T-34 ready. Field gun almost done as well for Jove and the Red Army. Reinforcing, worth noting, I don't think we've seen yet single squad to be mobilized there in terms of reserves. And then the Panther 4, direct hit from the Panther 4 piece and the T-34 from 6 frontal armor fairly easily. Good shot there. Got the field gun out here, reinforcing healing. VonIvan now getting some pretty good map control versus Jove again. Maybe able to close the gap between the two in terms of victory points because Jove has a definite lead there with VonIvan. Another great shot from the shot from the T-34 against the Panther 4. And wow! Every shot from the T-34 from 6 penetrate the Panther 4's armor with ease alongside the field gun, knocking out VonIvan's Panther 4. Crikey, that is, well, I guess where VonIvan's luck ran out. Which sounds like, you know, the title of a really cheap paperback novel you can find in the airports where VonIvan's luck ran out. Anyway, Shock Troopers is going to easy by the eastern field point. And if he doesn't, retreat them, they're going to get murdered. And even there, that was pretty close. Basil coming up here wanting some attention. He's been particularly wanting attention here when it's getting much colder. Probably because he wanted some Isn't that right, Bissell? Yes. So, shock troops ready, but then you put to the Gunnese Pioneers in the east. Bring up the center here, but Joe also, of course, a fan of bold maneuvers here, and we got VonIvan with the Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G, which the 7th Sturmgrenadier as mentioned, had a full brigade, more like a battalion level units, anyways. And a mix of Stug 3Gs and the Stu 42. And here's the T-34s from 6. That's going to be easily won here by the T-34. Sturmgeschütz almost on the west side of the conflict is going to see another assault from VonIvan. Vessel jumping down. From the T-ball. T-4 goes straight for the Pioneers here. A violent assault there from Jove and the Red Army. Pioneers here. If those had been shock troopers, those Pioneers would have been dead. Fortunately for VonIvan, they weren't. Oh, the shock troopers actually. Oh, they're back at base, setting out again. We'll have to see what Joe goes for next. Maybe another T-34s from 6. Maybe a T-35. We got the Sturmgeschütz 3 von G. They're moving forward here for VonIvan. Straight ahead for Deutschland. There goes one at the Pinamont machine gewehr there on top. There's the conscripts. You know, this is an early model Stug 3G, which in part you can tell from the mantle, but apparently not all factories actually got around to making the newer Topfblende, as is known. So some would actually still be equipped with this one, but even then you had like some side rollers here, which would have looked fairly different on later model Stug 3Gs. Fun fact. Shock troopers going to use on the west side, need to close in. And, oh, strafing run here from VonIvan, relying on the Luftwaffe to stop the shock troopers. They may be bulletproof, but they're not Luftwaffe proof. And apparently, though, they didn't stay down for long. And at that point, VonIvan's going to use definitely in a danger zone of getting absolutely murdered here by the near ace level shock troopers. T-34 dashing up, we're going to use the got the Stug rushing in here for VonIvan. Going straight here for the T-34s from 6, punching straight through the frontal armor. East of the conflict going to use Pioneer support as well there. How will VonIvan respond to the loss of the western fuel point? For Joe, though, at this point, does look like he might be planning a T-35 here versus VonIvan. You could also just go for more field guns, I suppose. Back here, reinforcement healing. T-34 do need some light repairs. East side, we got the conscript continue to hold the line here against VonIvan's forces. Sturmgeschütz being held up here. There you go, engaging the conscript, looking to wreck the cover. And on the west side here, buying time with the smoke grenade here. And there you go, trying to bait VonIvan into attacking into him, so he can then attack into him. Not a bad idea at all by Jove. Of course, in this case, the smoke didn't quite cover the way it hoped for, and VonIvan is able to send the shock troopers packing. Worth noting, now the side's getting particularly obsessed for like just one point, is resorting to meet grounded tactics. That was looking to outmaneuver, looking to outflank, looking for weak spots to exploit, so thumbs up there. T-35 there on the way for Jove and the Red Army. Another Stug for VonIvan. Very good. Double Stug tend to be quite good at dealing with armor and with pinnacle machines. They can even like sort of hurt infantry. As they're basically just kind of the MD-42s they get with those for like half the price. So get a pair of them going and like, you know, you can typically put a hurt on an infantry as well there. But sadly, no machine gun here for VonIvan Stugs, at least so far. Here's another fun fact about the Sturmgeschütz. In fact, it's more common on the later models, but it's actually not too uncommon either for them to actually have actual machine guns. They typically sort of be drilled in around here. And they'll have both types of mantle, but actually have these coaxial machine guns there. Basically meaning a Stug, you know, of the right, made in the right place, can actually have like 2 machine guns to sort of say shoot at infantry. But it wasn't like, you know, standard on all Stugs. So I'm guessing with some factories that did it, others did not. So, little fun fact there, though, little fun fact. But they're good. 2 Stugs here versus 2 T-34s. Panderfires and the T-35 here under Jove's command. Need to be careful here. Clearly isn't underestimating their VonIvan's tenacity. And I imagine he's also underestimating how many Stugs he's going to go for. Because most VonIvan players typically actually tend to go for 1 Stug. I would argue that's a mistake. So what VonIvan is doing is the proper thing, which is going for 2 stugs, because 2 stugs can deliver a lot of firepower versus enemy armor. Legend 101 there, we got the heat shields ready. T-34 moving up here. Trying to hit the egg using attack ground. Got the T-35. And the T-34 could also get knocked out here by VonIvan Sturmgeschütze. The field in there does present a problem here for VonIvan Stugs, so he probably will put... Oh, and there was a mine there as well there. Bit awkward there for Jove. Bit awkward. Still, it's getting the west side of the road here, or the railway actually. Side about what's left of the railway there. More mines going off somewhere by the sound of it. Grenadiers routed. Stugs probably should fall back here for now. More Pioneer here for VonIvan, as he did lose the previous squad. So Joe quick to move in there, dig in, and prepare for the next German onslaught. Opening up there on infantry with Stugs. Again, he really should add pin-up machine guns if he's going to do that. He really benefit from it. I certainly think that Conscript Squad would have taken a few losses there had those been Stugs been equipped with the MDs there on top. And use the shock troopers here again, use the smoke. That way baiting the Grenadiers in the attack moving into their range. So that's pretty devious here by Jove. And at this point, ace level, which means they really can just absolutely massacre infantry at close range. Grenade their dodge there by VonIvan's Grenadiers. And there you go. Jove does end up retreating, realizing he's stuck around for too long. And his shock troops all starting to, you know, die out. So Jove has amazing map versus VonIvan. The only issue, of course, is he needs more tanks or a lot more field guns to help counter the Stugs. He could also go for HG5s. We'll have to see what he does. Heavy mortar out there for Joe, though. Thumbs up. A good addition here versus VonIvan. And the 78th Sturm Grenadier Division. Stugen gegen T-34 from 6, straight for the frontal armor. Gotta wipe down VonIvan. One Grenadier squad there expired in service of Deutschland and the Wehrmacht. Still no Maschinengewehr on the Sturmgeschütze. Bit disappointing. Another Maschinengewehr for VonIvan. That provide more anti-infantry firepower. Obviously what VonIvan's planning next, and he's routed. And here's the Conscript here, both fuel ponds locked down, meaning Jove can more easily move towards some armor here. Here more to that at the front line now ready to bombard here VonIvan's position. There goes straight to the center here of VonIvan's positions in the eastern field here. Then he's trying to push on the center victory point. But there you go, T-34 ready to try and block this advance. And of course we got the shock troopers hiding here around the shed. So if VonIvan's going to push too far ahead, he can quickly zoom out from behind the shed and start, you know, murdering. Throw the grenade, Yuri! Poof. I meant over the wall, you idiot! Do the bombarding. Halfway to veteran C2. 3 kills in the Haymotor so far. 150 to 117. VonIvan is definitely behind the victory points versus Joe. A good push right now. Could definitely think leave VonIvan in a really, really bad place. Issued a fire there for Jove in response to the Sturmgeschütze. Bringing up a tank destroyer to counter the Sturmgeschütze Ausführung G assault gun. Bit of quiet here for now. Jove could of course launch a flank through here, flank through here. VonIvan of course could have himself try and launch breakthrough assaults for the west, for the east. He may of course go through the center. That obviously has some risks because that's currently where most of Jove's guns are pointing. And suddenly Jove pushing through. I mean, he does have smoke, unlike VonIvan. So obviously he can kind of get away with this because again he can just basically obfuscate a line of fire of, you know, VonIvan's stuff. East of the gunners of the Conscripts there. Ostwind flak plant here for VonIvan. Ostwind. Go. You should find tanks there for Jove. West side Conscript holding up here. He's about to get absolutely annihilated here. Immortifying the Pioneer. He's farming forwards. They're lining up. There we go. Good shot on the Stug. Right through the side arm of the Sturmgeschütz. Stug, the return the favour here. Could line up a heat shot, but there you go. The field gun pretty much forces VonIvan here to pull back the Sturmgeschütz 3 aus from G. Unless he wants to lose it. Flak Panzer there arriving to support the 78th Sturmgrenadier-Division. Mines here from Jove here to deal with any potential pushes from VonIvan. Flak Panzer rushing up to the west side here, looking to break open a new path and quickly send Jove's in from there, running back. T-Fed rushing in to counter that, of course that could draw in the Stugs. And of course this might have been part here of VonIvan's plan, using the Ostman as bait to draw up the T-34 and then set upon it with the Sturmgeschütz. It's definitely not a bad idea, a bit risky obviously, but well executed, could certainly have a chance of taking out a T-34. Flak Panzer beginning to go clear up further positions here under Jove in the west. Rushing the Ostman, crashing cover here, and thus crashing the conscripts' hope of holding the position without getting, you know, brutally murdered. Chief of forming in again. Stug turning around. Need to be careful if he gets Panterfast at the right angle. Yeah, that could allow the Stug to then finish off the T-Fed force from 6 fairly easily, particularly since getting few shots off of the Stug. And there goes shot, even bounces. Very lucky there for VonIvan. Still on the joining in, but even the T-Fed force from 6 chances of winning this are, or even surviving this, are quite frankly low. And even there, most of the shots miss. Actual Stugs were also actually a bit smaller than this and overall had a low profile, which obviously make them harder to see and hit. Shocked from the eastern side. More pioneers on the way here for VonIvan. Very good. So that's 2 Stugs that are very, very close to 32, but also both not quite there. Eastern's being held up. East side of shocks are pushed forward in the machine gun here. T-35 there for Jove. Those shocktroopers need to get out before the Ostman turns them into squish. In the centre, the engineers pinned down and are being steadily murdered out. Westhard here, constantly launching assault to get the western victory point out of VonIvan's filthy hands. A full-on socialist assault here. Grenadiers being ripped apart. Their T-35, 2/3 of the way done here for Jove and the Red Army. Molotovs and the Grenadiers here, rifle grenade from the other direction here, killing one of Jove's conscripts. Looks like another squad got wiped there. Good kill here for Jove. He's got 5 squads into them versus 3. Though, of course, VonIvan does have the Ostman to help, shall we say, slightly even out the odds there. Fresh T-35 around there for Jove. More Grenadiers there for VonIvan. Very good and certainly important. Jove quickly recapturing what's lost at the west seat of VonIvan. And the 78th Sturmgrenadier-Division. Sturmgeschütz in need repairs. East of the Garrison tanking by the T-35, sent a claim there by Jove. Loss of Samax in the west again, pretty much the exact same positions as last time. Sturmgeschütz there being repaired. Still a machining gun on them. So what will VonIvan do next? A mortar of his own? Tech for Panzerwerfers? Panzer IV, Flak Panzer, more Stugs. He actually counts that Grenadier squad as well. Interesting. Might and sent here from Jove. And VonIvan goes for a 3rd Sturmgeschütz. Truly a strategic mastermind without equal. Grenadiers with the conscripts there. I mean, 3 Stugs will definitely make short work of armor, though. And there goes also finding machine guns for thumbs. So that I say, I mean, if you're going to go for that many Stugs, you're really going to need the machine guns to at least somewhat deal with infantry. Certainly, they will be able to, like, fairly easily melt armor if you use them correctly. Though, of course, if Joe were to go for a lot of T-35s, there would be some issues with the Stugs. But there you go. Betty 2 gained on 1 Sturmgeschütz finally. Schützen added. Second shot misses there. At least they have the machining gun out. And there we go, we got the 3rd Sturmgeschütz out there for VonIvan. A mortar on the gun is planning using the center mines being cleared out there as he tries to claim it away there from the Red Army. Got 124 versus the M38. West side T-35 moving up here. Stugs remaining a bit held back here. Punish to clear more mines, but right in front of the T-34 seems pretty ambitious there for VonIvan. Could cost him the Pioneers if he's not careful. The mine does get set off under them. That would cost them the Pioneers most likely. Stug there being repaired though. Adding a machining gewehr to the third Stug. Very good. Machining gewehr continuing to defend the eastern victory point. Of course, Jove could actually try and rush that down with the tank, but he's clearly more interested in sort of keeping up armor in case of another push in the west from VonIvan. He's clearly concerned about the armor built up here, though he may, of course, not be quite aware as to how many Stugs VonIvan is bringing to the table here, because 3 Stugs is not what you'd expect from most Wehrmacht players, unless you're up against me, in which case you may expect that, but against anyone else, probably not. Probably not. He's being suppressed by the M42. Counter following up here. T-35 there. HG5 being dispatched eastwards, interesting enough. Stugs moving forwards here. Looks like VonIvan's getting ready for a push. And there you go. Heat shield loaded up. There you go. Blocks the line of fire here. And the T-35 for a bit here. And now the other Stugs moving back up the Ostwind here. It's a full-on Stug assault from Deutschland. Machine guns blazing at the infantry. Field gun there, though, in the line of fire of all these Stugs. And the Ostwind taking some damage here. T-35 that continue to highlight tail out of the HG5 now being hauled towards the west side here. Ryan's line for the Stugs. Another one gaining edge to these 3 Stugs versus 1 HG5. Field gun cleared up the Ostwind. Heavy mortar there, just being absolutely riddled with bullets from the Sturmgeschütze. Comes then tops well with M42 here, backing up the assault as well there. It's a charge of the Stug Brigade. And Jove did not handle that without bumps. So there you go. Field gun destroyed here. Mines being set off. Troops taken to the line of the Stugs and the Flak Panzer. Another HG5 here from Jove. Response to the arrival of all these assault guns with tank destroyers. So, yeah. That's some Stugging. Straight for the Carbon here. Bypassing the Stugs and the Ostwind. We got another machine gun here for VonIvan as Jove has claimed the M42 away from him. There you go, Stugs being repaired. Straight for the shock troopers there. Smoke grenade there. Let's try and buy them more time against the Flak Panzer. Second HG5 almost done there for Jove. Shock troopers there sent packing by the Ostwind Flak Panzer. 5 kills there. Flak Panzer blitzkrieging there to keep pace with the retreating shock troopers here. VonIvan definitely wants them dead and buried. T-35 coming up. PH-85 awaiting repairs. In fact, getting repairs. And there you go. Shock squad get wiped out. There we go. Wiped by the Flak Panzer here. A merciless killing here for VonIvan. The Stugs, of course, quickly and eagerly there to deal with the T-35 here. Got 107 for 329. So what will be VonIvan's next move? More infantry's down just 2 grenadier squads. Panther 4, another Ostwind. We got another HG5 there ready for Jove now. Will he go for more Stugs? It's the big question here from VonIvan. And he does, in fact, go for the 4th Stug. He's truly ascended to the peak of the metagame here. The quad Stug build. Troop reinforcing here, healing. Stugs being pushed back by the HG5s. Making use of this larger range here over the Stugs to steadily push them back. Jove has sent the unknown Lucians that if he gets within their range, they're gonna absolutely wreck his stuff. He's also bringing another field gun, and he will probably need more field guns up counter the Stugs, as they are fairly weak to them, lacking any issue with dealing with field guns or any tank guns in general. Mortars will live for VonIvan. T-Fed right in front of the Stugs here, and there you go. Almost brought to half of rather here in the face of the triple Stug build. One halfway to the ace level, the other one also halfway to the ace level. And there you go, the 4th Sturmgeschütz is ready. Mine here, and straight around here for VonIvan and the Luftwaffe against Jove's infantry here, pinning them down to the ground. H5 getting the Stugs, but will Jove be quite ready for 4 Stugs? We're not ready, comrades. There are few in the... Oh, bollocks! What? What? They lied to us! T-45 knocked out as VonIvan's Stug platoon. His Sturmgeschützzug strikes for Deutschland. And there you go, just rolling over everything. 1 Stug gets knocked out. It is tragically eventually 2 Stugs. But the other one, though, is slowly approaching the ace level here. Conscripts being halted. H5, they're taking a fair amount of damage in the end, though. VonIvan is forced to withdraw his Sturmgeschütze before they get wrecked here by the H-25s and the field gun, maybe. Except the field gun didn't arrive there in time, but still. Pretty brutal stuff there, and the T for the 35 at the cost of Stug is a pretty decent trade-off there for VonIvan. Pretty decent. That's it, though. They will all need some time to get fixed. And he's very wisely bringing in more pioneers to do that. That's it. This does mean the front line is kind of abandoned here. Jove could push ahead, grab some victory points, start bleeding up VonIvan rapidly again, and maybe close out the fight before the Stugs are ready to, you know, go at him again. And that's a lot of Sturmgeschütz. East side, the MD-42, they're holding up a German advance here for VonIvan. Both is going to be escorts caught by the MD-42 at max range, and they're being met with a furious fusillade here, which they will not soon forget. Strafing run here, I imagine the machine gun in the east, perhaps? Yeah. Looking to pin that down, getting this gun suppressed, and then try and deal with MD-42 here. Bold maneuver for VonIvan, then they'll just retreats. Perhaps they realised that wasn't quite going to work out. On the west side here, second MD-42 of VonIvan halts on the advance from Joe up the far left flank here. Stugs being repaired up here. In the centre there, troops pushing forward against the machine gun here. On the west side, flanked here by the conscripts. Going to see a Molotov, imagine, down their backs. There we go. Lighting them up. Like fireworks. Sturmgeschütz, they're almost fixed up, leaving just the near east Sturmgeschütz then to be repaired alongside the Flakpanzer. And what will Joe go for next? A third H-25? More T-34s? Hard to say here. I mean, you typically just don't see these kind of matchups like, you know, Quad Stugs versus the Soviets, so yeah, it's certainly something else. It certainly does put a bit of a test there in Jove. There you go, sending out 2 Stugs. Definitely remember to upgrade the other Stug there. Finishing through here, Jove's conscripts. 74s to an 88. H5, they're good to go. We got another T for the 35 there for Jove. Problem thing, he surely can't keep throwing all of those Stugs at me. He's got to give up at some point. Aerocons again here for VonIvan. Still added machining give out to the 3rd Stug. First one's almost good to go. Flak punching repaired. Maxim here for Jove. Cancels the T for the 55. No, cancels again. Seems to be some hesitancy and caution here from Jove. Goes for the T for the 55 after all. But I can only imagine it's, you know, the sheer weight of those Stugs in his mind that is causing him to hesitate. Unsure as how to, you know, survive against this onslaught of superior German technology and design. H5's holding up here. West side, we got the conscript on the western field point there away from the German army. Still a machine gun on that one. We get armored vehicle detection. And not a bad ability, it's just very alert, because most of the time you don't really need it, as opposed to if you're on Amilly Fields and you're up against a lot of Stugs, knowing where exactly they are may in fact prove to be a really good piece of information. Another T-35, they're ready for Jove. 5 grenades here. Guessing he's going to go for a Panther 4 now, or is he going to go for a 4th Stug again here? Hard to say with VonIvan, you never quite know. And no, he does commit to the quad Stug strategy, the Stug platoon build. Westerly comes with the pioneers there, pushing them back. Mines down here. He's obviously, I think, hoping here that VonIvan makes the first one, can bait the Stugs into the mines and then wreck them. Got mine specific, which will quickly put that plan to a bit of rest. There goes slowly, they're sending the mines. Good work by VonIvan. 4th Stug almost done. We got 37 to 275. Bit of light damage there from the mortar on top of Jove's H-5. Got the Stugs going in here, engaging. Every shot misses though. That is a bit rubbish there for now. There you go, H-Duke. H-5 there, halfway to the ace. Looks like get knocked out there. H-Duke will probably do it. There we go. High rate of fire. Abandoned, but still leaves Jove with just one T-35 and H-5 here versus a lot of Stugs here. One thing I think Von could have done before charting would be loading up the heat shields. That way, making it harder for to take return fire. Still, got the T-35 as well. That leaves him just with an abandoned H-5, the H-5 and the field gun here versus 3 Stugs. And an abandoned Stug plus the Osman, which apparently forgot about. Still, that's a really solid trade-off, I think, there for VonIvan. Again, 1 Stug for T-35. Even the H-5 didn't die. It got abandoned, meaning its experience is gone for now. And he's still got the A-Stug, which you'll like to note has a very high rate of fire and good mobility, meaning that is a really nasty piece of work. And if you ever were to, like, get 2 A-Stugs, that would be really bad news for Jove's armor. Back here, reinforcing healing. Grenadier setting out once more. Concentrating to them before 2 Stugs getting ready again for another push. Perhaps there for Deutschland. Flak Panzer dealing with the control of the flank here. Mortify off. Fielding with the Stug. Misses though. Ace Sturmgeschütz there. Knight's Cross. Material there. Molten the Grenadiers there. Stug Ace almost done. Got some munitions drops here for VonIvan. Might be planning up for something cheeky there then. Perhaps a push to finish it all off, or perhaps just to find the munitions so he can easily upgrade his Stug. I don't know. Bring up the right side here, we got 37 to 250. Joe still has the lead, but he's under some serious pressure for VonIvan and those triple Stugs. He's there, MG14 with advancing conscripts. Contra sending Hammond here with the Maschinengewehren. More munitions being airdropped here for VonIvan. It's got almost 300 now. Got the Isha bring up here for Jove. T-34 some 6 for Jove. Interesting choice there. Interesting. Not what I quite expect there. Not quite what I would expect. So, what will VonIvan do now? I mean, a quick reconnaissance pass and then, like, single out a good target for the Stuka bombing strike and were to deploy the smoke most efficiently could allow, I think, VonIvan to, like, sort of pull off a game finisher move here versus Jove right now. Or, you know, just send some grenadiers in to spot the targets, I guess. I mean, that works too. Stuka bombing strike here. Jericho trumpet sounds off. Almost got the max and they're feeling holding forwards here. T-34 almost done, and VonIvan doesn't really follow up on that though. Still, it does slightly mess up the Jove's defenses, but doesn't quite get to exploit the chaos I think they could have perhaps like developed further there. T-34 they're ready for Jove. More armor here for him and the Red Army. Flakpan thinks up, very close to Vetchny too. The heavy mortifier there. Jove remains defensive. I mean, you could try and deploy smoke and then rush in if you could, like, bypass the Stug's front lane and just flank them or something. They could do damage. And we got another Stug there for VonIvan. Another Sturmgeschütz. Wunderbar. Looks like VonIvan's ready to launch another assault here. Perhaps this one's going to take another path here instead of straight for the middle. Which I'm a bit surprised to keep doing when he could probably flank. There he goes, spotted by the H5. Takes a hit here. Going up west side here, things are happening. Pulls back here for now. Perhaps he's waiting for that 4th Stug before making his move for Deutschland. Flaps in advance, catching the advancing infantry there. Betty 2 there, 10 kills. Fresh Sturmgeschütz arriving here. H5's learning up here, perhaps to do some naughty stuff here to VonIvan Sturmgeschütze. Field going up as well here. Stug being pushed back. Stug flanking the T-34 from 6 here. Catching there Jove's tank in a spot it wasn't expecting to be attacked from a Stug with. H5 keeps pursuing the Stug here, going for the ace. What will VonIvan do? He's going to turn the tables now on Jove. Perhaps he's going to charge right ahead for Dodge, and there you go. Flak Panzer blitzing in there. Stug's attacking from both sides here. Perhaps there you go, flanking the H5 from north here. Heat just being locked, loses the ace. Stug, a tragic loss there for the German Reich. Still keeps up the assault here. There you go, another heat shell here. Leaves the H5 not easy to respond. We got Ace level here, but the Stugs could take it out. There you go. Ace H5 knocked by the Stug. Other H5 knocked by the other Stug here. That leaves him just with the T-34, and his field gun's about to get wiped out as well there. We do have the machine gun, but that won't stop against the Stugs. And there go T-34 almost knocked out here. Stug near the Ace level. There go T-34 kaput. Field gun wrecked here. Jove's forces are disintegrating beneath the tide of Sturmgeschütze. Utter annihilation awaited what appear flak panzer of a damage range, but it is near the Ace level. 26 kills. Set off a mine under the Stug. It's abandoned. And the heavy mortar goes down. Apparently just wrecks the Stug. That was a brutal armoured battle there. Brutal. Clearly a bit messy. That still came off in the end, I think, fairly well there for VonIvan. Like, Joe now has no way of countering the Ostwind, for example. Not easily, at least. And he brings in any armour. The Stugs are just going to wreck it. And, of course, VonIvan will just likely just replace the Stug losses with more Stugs, as they are fairly easy to make. And towards the comes in the east. So looking not too great here for Jove. Not too great. Got another shoot there for VonIvan. Thumbs up to that. Certainly didn't help that Jove also lost his heavy mortars. He has no way of easily dealing with those machine guns either. Of course, VonIvan still has his own mortar. Straight up the centre here. East side, we're going to push up. They have machine gun ready here from VonIvan to thwart that attempt. 37 versus 146. Flak Panzer there, achieving the East level. 30 kills for the Svartaland. Another T-35 here from Jove. That is a bold pick. Western field putting grab at the Grenadiers. Rapidly and aggressive between the conscripts here. 31 kills. The damage being inflicted on the conscripts is immense. No, Jove goes for initiative 5. Not a bad idea, I suppose, but there you go. I think he just ends up giving up here, realizing that this isn't going his way. So there you go. GG, game over. Victory for VonIvan, a victory for Deutschland. A fierce fight here with some good Stug action here. What I'd like to see some Panthers and more flanks. Moskins also involved, but I think that was a pretty solid fight here between Jove and VonIvan. Jove almost had it, but I think tactically just kind of fell into a bit of an awkward pattern. I think also in part he got intimidated by all the Stugs, which definitely helped VonIvan to set up, like, you know, for more coordinated pushes from his side. That way allow him to still lose, but still win the game. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't to enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.